Hey, it's Sean with Sean's DIY and Reviews, and today I'm going to change the thermostat on my Dodge Journey. It's the 2017, but a lot of the other ones are going to be very similar. So the first thing you do is just take this plastic cover off, and all you have to do is just kind of pull up on it and it'll move out of the way. This way it gives you room to access your thermostat, and the thermostat is going to be right here. Essentially, it's got this little plug here. It's this whole thing. And it used to be that you can pull out and take the thermostat out, but now they actually give you the entire housing. So it's not that hard to do. So one of the things you want to do is kind of clamp this off, because otherwise, clamp off the hose going to it. Otherwise, antifreeze is going to leak all over the place. Then we're going to pull this off and then unscrew this with our 10mm bolts. And so then from there, I'm going to have to change my antifreeze, because it's probably just time to do it. But that's a different project altogether. So what I'll do here is I'm going to start by pulling this back, because I don't want all that fluid going everywhere. So just get your pair of channel locks, or they do have clamp pliers, but I'm just going to use these. So grab in there. There we go. And just kind of wiggle that back and forth until you can bring it back off. And I'm going to put down the camera, but you get the idea on this, because I'm going to not be able to do it as well while holding the camera. But here's the idea: just wiggle this clamp down toward the hose a little bit. So here is the replacement, and I got a Duralast. So if you have the Dodge Journey 2017, or if yours has the same one, your part number is right up there. There's the part number right there. You can read that off the screen. And the way this works is essentially, once the engine heats up to a certain temperature, this spring is heat activated, and it'll allow this to then push this valve in, allowing antifreeze to come out of the engine and then go into your radiator up here, and then go around the radiator fins, come back around, and it does that over and over again. And so the way these fail is one of two ways. It either fails closed, meaning the valve is closed and no antifreeze can get out of the engine, and then your engine can generally overheat, or it can fail open, which just allows the coolant. It's like as if this valve wasn't there. The coolant would just keep going around and around and around, and that's bad for your engine too. And the reason why that's bad for your engine is because then your engine doesn't get up to proper operating temperature, and if that doesn't happen, then your vehicle is not hot enough and it's not running at peak efficiency, and it can do damage to the engine. So you want to make sure you have a working thermostat in there, and so that's why I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. It's really simple. You just have a bolt up top and a bolt down bottom here, and then this is your bleeder valve, which you're going to need to open to kind of like get all the air out of your system. So that's where you do that. Obviously that guy right there too. So I'm going to put this aside for the moment and remove this one, and it's simply 10mm bolts. So I got this here. I'm going to go up here, and then you can kind of just crack your 10mm bolt and do the same below. Somebody told me, and I agree, do the bottom one first, because then this way, once you get to the top, you can pull it there and get it to go. Also, make sure you put a catch container underneath, so any antifreeze that does come out of here gets caught in the catch container and doesn't spill all over the place and cause a hazard. So I'm just going to loosen this bolt right here a little bit, and then I'm going to go down under here and get to the other bolt that's underneath it. All right, so I'm going to use these water pumps to get this hose off. I'm going to grab it very lightly and just twist this back and forth until my hose comes off. I got my container down below to catch my fluid. All right, so as I got this loose, I just started wiggling the tube, and as you can see, there's still antifreeze in there. But I wiggled the tube, lifted it up, moved it out of the side. Of course, you're going to lose some antifreeze, and that's why you have your bucket underneath. And then here I cracked this bolt loose, and then underneath you're going to need a very shallow socket. The reason why is because you actually have to get your hand all the way under here, because the wider one you'll actually hit up against the frame over here, so there's no room for a bigger one, or you can't get in there. So you got to go underneath here and then feel around, and then find the bolt, put that on there, crack that loose, and then once it's loose a little bit, you can turn it by hand. And so there I go, and you got just a little bit of wiggle room, but there's enough room to get it going. then you should be able to go by hand here. But make sure that when you're going by hand, you're also going to lose a little bit of antifreeze from there. Also, when you're done, you also want to clean off your belt, because all that chemicals from the antifreeze on the belt is probably not the best thing either. So I'm going to go ahead and try to loosen this by hand. Okay, so when I took this off, one of the things to note, I didn't see a rubber gasket in here, which you'd figure there'd be. So go back over here on the engine and reach around and make sure you pull your rubber gasket off, because you don't want to leave that on there when it doesn't belong on there anymore. So that would be bad if you double gasketed the new one. Not such a good thing. And so here's my new one, and it has its own gasket already right in there. Match them up. They look pretty much exactly the same. So it looks like the metal's a little wider around here, but that's fine. And other than that, it looks pretty much the same. This one looks to have a smaller spring than this, and so I think that might be that this spring basically over time wore out and got less tension on it. So I'm going to put this in. The hardest part about this really is that as you're trying to reach your hand onto the bottom, you're putting pressure on the bottom screw, which doesn't allow you to move it by hand, which was difficult. So once basically getting this thing off was the hardest part of the whole project here. And so the top's lined up. And bottom also. See, as you can see here, there's not a lot of hand room. So you have to kind of jiggle this around in order to get the screw to go in. So it's really hard to do it by hand. So what I'm going to do first is, do the top one. This way I don't have to worry about this kind of coming off and falling off. Then I just hook all the hoses up, do everything back, reverse of what I had, and I should be good to go. Once you put everything together, you want to heat it up, get it up to operating temperature, and let any air out of it. That'll obviously go. I'm going to look more in depth on how that works, because my understanding is you may want to get it up to operating temperature, shut it off and open this up, as opposed to opening it while it's on, but that I'm not 100% sure on. So as I'm cranking this down by hand, I feel the threads catch, so I know I have that in place. The bottom one is definitely quite difficult to reach your hand around and get that done. So level of difficulty is very low. Make sure you got your washer on there. Difficulty is not very high at all. I would say the hardest part is being able to get the bottom bolt out, and then you want to make sure you seat that in there properly, that you got the gasket in the proper place. But as you can see here, no problem basically tightening down the top one. And I would go hand tight on each of them before you start cranking them down. Just time and patience. You'll get it, but it's definitely a pain with not very much finger room here at all. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, ask below, give a thumbs up, share, comment. Appreciate it. Talk to you in the next video.